And lastly, we'll be talking about the Israel and Gaza conflict, which I think, as for you, is very interesting because you're an Israeli journalist. So, how does the Battleground handle reporting on the Israel-Gaza conflict?
As my former editor at France 24 once told me, there's nothing more overreported than the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It constitutes a vastly disproportionate um, um, part of the news relative to its actual size. And so there is that. And I always take that into account in the work that I both commission and write myself. It has to be good, it has to be original, and it has to be instructive. And then, secondly, it is very difficult to publish critical journalism about the Palestinian Israeli conflict from the Israeli side. We are living in a period of unprecedented anxiety about how the conflict gets reported abroad. I've worked for Israeli news television for many years, and I'm extremely familiar uh, uh, with more recent concerns about how diaspora media frame the conflict. And so I have no problem doing things like calling what's happening in Gaza a genocide, because, I mean, academically, there is absolutely no disputing what has been going on. And I think in the higher elements of the Israeli political echelon, the issue is not that a genocide isn't happening, because they know it is, but whether it's justified. And that's a very hard uh, thing to work with if you're a journalist, because they'll be, you'll still get condemned for owning up to it, even in Israel. And people do, including in the military. But there's more anxiety about it when you do it abroad. And so I published an article in December about how genocide denial in the Gaza war is routinized in museum work and in the public sector in Europe. And it was a barn burner of an article. It was written by a psychoanalyst who had just done some work with the Freud Museum around this project in Vienna. And so I essentially laid out the Battlegrounds case for there being a genocide taking place in Gaza, but I did it with an extremely eloquent and articulate and sensitive writer who was nonetheless extremely angry about the crisis. And so the combination of the emotional element of her article and the dramatic eloquence with which she explained herself made it possible to speak candidly and openly about the genocide for us as a publication and for me as an Israeli Jewish editor working abroad. And we had no problems with it. Nobody reproached us for it at all. And I was extremely relieved. And the article was our biggest article last year. And it ended up a reference article for the IJC in The Hague. I believe they're in The Hague, in their genocide cases that they're reviewing. So vis-a-vis the war. So that's how I handle our Middle Eastern reportage. We don't do a lot of it, and I make a point of that because there's a lot of really, really first-class journalism now, where there wasn't 20 years ago. 972 magazine in Israel and Mekomit, the Hebrew edition of 972, are doing some of the best journalism on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict ever. I mean, it's really good. And that film they just won the Academy Award for the documentary category. Grew out of about the dispossession of Palestinians in the West Bank. That came out of the 972 crew as well. So we're in an unprecedented period of really high quality journalism about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And, We're a European publication, and I will cover it insofar as it relates to Europe. And there's more than enough opportunities to do just that because the Palestinian-Israeli conflict started in Europe. It did not start in the Middle East.